Okay, so guys, normally we'll be taping a lunch and learn, but today we're switching it up. We're doing kind of just discussing with a fellow entrepreneur himself. I let him introduce himself a little bit, but I wanted to just capture some issues, some growing pains that we have as being an entrepreneur, and also go ahead, let it out. Also, some good things of being an entrepreneur as well. We'll leave that for last and on a good note. But I just wanted to, this is Howard. I just wanted to introduce him, and he'll tell you what he does. Well, for me, you guys should probably know me by now. My name is Jessie. I'm an accountant, CPA, and I do tax and accounting. And I do like to empower clients to kind of do it themselves if they can, especially when it comes to simple stuff for like bookkeeping. Especially if you're just starting off small, it's really not that hard to do your own books. It's just a matter of if you don't have the time or you just don't care to do it at all, then you hire someone like me. Other than that, things are pretty simple in the beginning, and I think knowing simple words like a balance sheet, knowing what a W-9 and versus a W-4, a 1099, these are things that you should kind of know just in general in owning your own business. Knowing what to keep for record keeping, bookkeeping, and stuff like that, estimated taxes, whether you do them or not, at least be aware that what entails. So these are things that I do on my lunch and learn. But today, due to some weather issues or lack of attendees, we decided to just talk to each other. So Howard, tell them what you do. Introduce yourself.
Hi there, Howard Jones, owner of a company called NetBuddy, which is a wireless internet service provider. And basically, what it is we sell 4G routers, which are probably more popular in Europe and Asia. And we also sell the service. The main thing is the service.
Yeah.
How we package it, how we market it is internet alternative. So, well, let me just tell you what it is first. So, we buy AT&T mobile data plans and we resell it. So, we buy low, sell high. So basically, we provide a service for citizens that are underserved by the major ISPs, Comcast, Cox, Time Warner, which is Spectrum now. That's what we do. It's a niche business, and we fill the void for people who just can't. Their only choices are DSL and or satellite.
What about people in rural areas like the country? Are those typically your clients too?
Those are our main clients.
Gotcha.
Our biggest customer base is Texas, Ohio.
People, what I like to say, who live behind God's back. It's very hard to get there. So therefore, service as far as even your Wi-Fi service is not the greatest.
Yeah, people just want fast internet. They want to watch their TV. They want to watch movies. They want to use YouTube. They want to game.
Yeah.
And the major ISPs are just not everywhere like we would think. Like here in New York City and New Jersey, the greater New York City area, we take our access for granted.
Yeah.
If you just go 30 miles west, out Jersey, Hunterdon County, which is arguably it's always in the top 10 richest counties in the state. Even pockets in that county, they don't have good broadband choices. All they got is DSL, which is incredibly slow in this day and time, and satellite.
Yeah.
So the reason being, it's a lot of different reasons. For one is that a lot of the properties are far back from the road, so that last mile infrastructure is really cost prohibitive, and the major ISPs won't come build out from the road.
So the point of this now, first of all, when did you start your business? This particular business. I know you probably have a few you did before.
So this particular entity, which was a pivot, or which what do you call it? Mutated from broadcasting.
Right.
We went hot in April of 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So what has been some of your growing pains, you would say?
Scaling. We have some too many customers now as to where. So let me just back up. You know, I created this just like James said in my bed. And let me back up. Let me just
Back up from the bed.
yeah. Okay, so my background, what I've been doing for the past 8 years, live stream specialist, broadcast engineering, and what that is providing live streaming services for people that want to broadcast their events.
Right.
And we started that before live streaming was really mainstream. And the main industries that were in that space were mainly houses of worship.
Right.
That took advantage of that technology. Also the adult industry, but we didn't. You know what I mean? That webcamming stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, those were the how ironic. Two dichotomies. Were the ones taking advantage of the streaming technologies the most. So we service a lot of churches, and they'll call us and say, hey, we want a live streaming setup. And the reason why they live stream was to, so they have members, so their budget is contingent upon donations from their members. So they have a lot of expats, and people are very loyal to their churches. So what they want to do is broadcast to the expats and people who are sick and shut in. So they'll call us and say, hey, we want to broadcast. We want to set up an infrastructure to broadcast our services every Sunday, and while services are being online. And we want a 3-camera setup, we want church software with the words, blah blah blah. And we want you to train our media ministry to book the equipment. That's we did stuff like that.
Right.
There's some good years, some bad years. Some years you have a whole bunch of contracts, and some years, you didn't make any money.
Yeah.
You did worse than break even. So, a lot of times when we get called out to do an event, outdoor event, we have to supply our own internet, and which was very painful for the business because a lot of the venues didn't have their own internet. So basically, what you had to do was use a hotspot, a little 4G device with a SIM card.
Right.
It's terribly
What year was
expensive.
this?
Even now,
Illinois.
2010, 11, 12, that's where we saw the need. So I seen how expensive mobile data was.
Right.
It's something you absolutely need to broadcast an event. So I got the hookup. My mans and them hooked me up, right? Showed me the way, and to acquire AT&T mobile data, because basically you buy the service and then you put the service on a SIM card, and then you put the SIM card in a compatible device, compatible AT&T devices. So we researched what would be the best devices to service the industry, and we got the 4G LTE monthly service at a cheap rate.
Got it.
So I had to brainstorm, like, this would really, a lot of people really could use this. I can package this, I can make some money. I wasn't thinking about, making money, but,
Yeah.
hey, I put a couple of extra dollars in my pocket, right? So, of course, my first marketed to the people who I knew, the streaming industry. Hey guys, check this out, got the hookup, hit me up, give me your PayPal email, I'm gonna charge you, woo woo. And then I was like, you know what? I could sell this around the country. I could not package this towards the streaming industry, but I could package this as an internet alternative. I'm gonna keep it simple. We established a relationship with this company that makes routers, 4G routers. They configured them and got some good wholesale. Got the service, and we just sold a package. This is internet. You remember Clear? There was a service called Clear. It was 4G internet.
No.
A long time ago. Okay, something
Really
similar to that.
very young.
It was turnkey. Okay.
Yeah.
So turnkey. To make a long story short, we sold internet service, one price, $65. You bought a device, a one-time payment of a device. And then you bought a service. I designed the website myself. It looks like it's not the best looking website, but it's functional. You know, we put the membership software on it, where, you know, you pay, and then the recurring payment,
Yeah.
and we still have our customers. We have thousands of customers. So we're thankful.
So how do
Because it
you?
really got real dire for us. Got
So
real bad.
there's two things I took away from there because we were
Yeah.
trying to get the growing pains. Like you mentioned, your website is pretty simple, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs they focus so much on the website. And if you're giving me a service that works, I don't really care what your website looks like. If I could do what I need
True.
to do on it to pay bills, then I don't really care what it looks like. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think sometimes a lot of people focus way too much on getting the best looking website.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know.
bad. I mean, you know, you're your worst critic. You know, I'm like, oh, this could look a little
So
bit better.
yeah, it's
But-
probably. I mean, what I've read is that as long as when I go on, it's easy on the eyes. It's kind of like looking
Yeah.
like a resume. If I could pull out what I need within
Mhm.
5 seconds,
Yeah.
then it's a good website. You know.
That's what it is. We want you, so when you go to the website, and we study our competition, of
Mhm.
course, and we made sure that when you go to the website, you know what it is. Like, okay, internet alternative for communities that are underserved, and $60 a month, no contracts, whatever, you know, no contracts. No fees, it's $60, you have your internet. Be
How
sure
do
that
you-
you have AT&T coverage in your area. Oh, but, go ahead.
How do you manage? Because you one of the things you said that one of your biggest stuff you have probably way too much clients scaling. How do you manage thousands of clients?
It's pretty automated, the software, you know. Our biggest, because how we have to do it is, it's because it's a two-step process. It's not like really turnkey like that. The only turnkey is when people go to the website and they pay for the service, and you're basically buying a subscription, and then, you know, it's recurring billing, recurring payment.
And that's automatic.
That's automatic. But we have to marry the service with that each particular order. And we're only two people. So,
No. Yeah, so just him and his wife. Do you feel the need to hire people? I know you probably have some contractors here and there, but do you feel the need to hire someone full time?
we would like to in the future, but it's really hard to safeguard the process. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So
Because it's not proprietary. You know. But we know we marketed real well, and what we did was how we got so many customers. Like, it took off like gangbusters. Like, it took off. And
Right.
you know, you're my accountant.
Yeah.
But so what we did, so this is a lesson for other entrepreneurs that, you know, that's whatever it is in technology. What we did was I reached out to maybe about 50, it took me about 2 weeks, 10 hours a day to scour all the technology presenters and the, you know, so-called influencers on YouTube. And so we set up a affiliate program, and we reached out to a whole bunch of technology presenters, you know. And we said, hey, can you give us a fair review on your channel in exchange for free service and an affiliate, and to be an affiliate? The payout is each person that signs up, that uses we give them a coupon code. Each person that uses your coupon code, you know, is $15.
Right.
So, of course, you got to spice it up, you know. You probably get like a 1,000 referrals. So, hey, you can make $15 a month, you know. So, but whatever. So, whoever uses that coupon code for the first month, it wasn't recurring, but they would get $15 for whoever signed up.
Right.
Yeah, so we had some affiliates making initially like $3,000 a month, you know. We had maybe 5 or 6 people answer the call out of the hundreds of calls.
Answering calls.
Yeah, no, we had out of the 100 of, you know,
Sign-ups.
people who we solicited to review our product, the technology presenters. 6 of them answered the call. They saw, you know, well, they reviewed it.
Yeah.
A lot of the technology presenters, they're real helpful people.
Right.
And if your stuff sucks, best case scenario, they won't be like, nah,
Say
I
anything.
can't support it.
Yeah.
But they be like, oh, yo, I'll rock with this.
Yeah.
They'll embellish a little bit, but they'll review it and give you, go get this. Of course, they have an incentive too, but it's balanced, and they're ethical, and so that really helped us. Like,
Gotcha.
for real, because if they don't know you exist, you don't online.
Yeah.
You know how some of these entrepreneurs that you think just because you ever seen somebody open a store and they think just because they got a store.
Yeah, and that's the same too with having a website. You can't just and just sit there. You gotta really go at it and really try and get traffic and footwork and even doing lunch and learns. That's my equivalent for this. Like anyone calls me, I pick up the phone. If someone they want to talk to me with something they're doing, I answer the phone. Anyone wants to partner with me, I say yes. I say yes to everything. That's one of my biggest issues because you have to grow your network, and even if they don't use you or whatever, the buzz is there.
You're my accountant. That's how I found you. I said I wanted to get out the house because, like I said, from making enough money, I want to do something to finance another project. So here I am right here. Got an office here in WeWorks. I started seeing your. Oh, like, who's this? Oh, wow. We need an accountant. Hey, we need an accountant? Yes, we need an accountant. And so you made your presence known. That's how I found out about you. Just looking at the bulletins. Like, okay, all right, I'm checking Jessie out. I'm going to go to her. I went to your wine tasting thing.
Yeah, a little happy hour with wine. Yeah.
Now my money's in your pocket. Right? It is.
But yeah, so one of the things too that, like for me, my biggest challenges were the networking, because a lot of CPAs, they do a lot of stuff on referrals. They don't do social media, they don't do ads. Not to say that they have to, it's just that I think it's almost 2020, you know what I mean? And it's just that the era that we're in, and we gotta move with time. Just my personality, I like meeting people. I understood at a very,
I noticed this.
I noticed at a very young stage in my career, as soon as I finished accounting, this is what I do is based on relationships. So the most part, what you do could be based on relationships too. You never know who. I could go to Philly or somewhere and I meet someone in the boondocks in Pennsylvania. It's like, man, my internet sucks. I'm like, you know what? I know a guy. Simple like that.
That's how it's supposed to work, yeah.
Right, and that's all because of your relationship with me, whether or not you had signed up for a service or not.
But we only work on the AT&T network, FYI. So
there you go, AT&T.
You're like, hey, you got AT&T in this area? I got a guy for you. Yeah, so it was always that round the clock pressure.
So yeah.
So we just had to
scale it down to a few days. Yeah, and I have a coach that tells me that too. Like, you need to have structure in things. But when you're like,
we trying to get all the money, trying to kill all the competition.
When you have the little hustler drive in you and that hungriness in you, because what you used to make is not what you wanted for yourself anymore, and now you're working around the clock. Scaling back. That's one thing I had to learn as owning my own business, is that I gotta know when to cut it off. And I thought I was good because I'm cut off at 10 p.m. if my phone goes on silent. So unless you call me physically on the phone, I won't really get your text or anything like that, unless I had the phone already open doing something. So I shut off at 10 and I try to get up at 5 and not look at the phone, not to look at anything until I get into the office. So that has been my version of downtime and scaling and structuring. But once I'm in the office, it's like go. But sometimes I think of probably only, like for instance, if you call me and say, hey, could you come by, what day is good for you? And I would probably say, what day is good for you? And you just pick a day and I'll just look at my calendar, it's free. Not knowing I should probably keep meetings to like a 2-day calendar time during the week. Like that's something I know some people do. So it's something I probably think of implementing. But
that's why you got to hire a secretary. You're like a one-man army, like I was, but
yeah. But you know what? You get so many. That's my issue too. Now you get so many different advice from people you respect. One coach would say to you, I listen to Gary Vee a lot. You know what I mean? And his thing is, first of all, why do you need a vacation? Why, you know what I mean? Like, work 60 hours, put in the work. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks you should put in the work. I have a coach who said, if you're not making $500,000 gross sales, you wait, we should be making 500 in
Of
gross
what
sales
criteria?
before you hire someone else.
Oh, okay.
So that's.
You agree with that?
I see why he says that. Yeah. It's just a matter of structuring. If you physically feel in what I do specifically, because he only coaches accountants. So if you feel that you're making 200, 300 grand and you need help, your prices are too low. That's what he would tell you. You're not scaling enough. So it's getting that different information from everywhere and figuring
Those are
out.
guidelines, though. But you
Those
have to
are
think about your
guidelines, yeah.
peace of mind.
And figure out what
You
works for
value
you.
your
Right. Do you,
downtime.
if you have kids, do you
Yeah.
value going to the gym more? And I wanted to, like, Gary Vee had this thing where people call in. I wanted to call into him, like, okay, if you're advising people to work these crazy hours, which I'm all on board for, right? Especially if you're young. You know,
Yeah,
at what point
when
do
you're
you tell
young.
people to take care of their health and stuff like that? Because we could keep going and going and going for, you know,
Sorry.
we could, go ahead.
Yeah. It's like-
We could work like 80 hours a week if we really enjoy what we're doing and just not really turn off sometimes. I've done that. If you give me a project and I'm really excited about it, I could
Yeah.
really come in here on a Sunday and go. One tax season, I worked up until 5 a.m. in the morning, and I literally didn't realize it was 5 a.m.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
My buzzer went off to get up in the morning. Let's get back and wrap up to the financial part of it. What has been your biggest grievances, and if you can attest to that because maybe your wife takes care of that, that's fine. But then I can tell you what my grievances are. What issues you find on the financial side of your business you've had?
Grievances?
Like, I mean, because
Pitfalls, anything like that?
here's the
In
thing,
general?
right? Like, I've seen that some business owners, they're just not equipped with the right tools. And some don't want to be bothered. And some things is scary
Can you be
looking
more
at the numbers.
specific?
How comfortable do you feel about your numbers? You know? Are you comfortable in telling someone, hey, how much your gross average on a monthly? Are you able
Am I
to?
comfortable?
Yeah. I mean, not comfortable giving out the information, but
Okay.
knowing on top of your head, you know, how much you think you do, you know, on a monthly basis. And if you're speaking to a coach, if I ask you, hey, if I'm signing you up for services and we just spoke for the first time and I'm trying to gauge where you are financially, you know, in terms of gross sales, how easy is that for you to spit out? You know, if I say to you, hey, I need a set of financial statements, I need a balance sheet and
Okay.
whatever. I need to get
That's
certain
very
things.
relative because you're in the space, so you're in the industry, you have the accounting industry, all accountants. So you have to gauge your worth or how well you do, you know, based on your peers. You know, this is sort of a niche market. We're doing very well relatively, so it's like more money than I ever made. It's like, yeah, I'm doing, you know.
But yeah, so I mean, we could just wrap it up now. But I think just having a discussion with actual client, you know, see how you're doing, what you're doing, and that's really it, guys. I know for me, is one of my own business is probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Sometimes it could be very scary. It can be very lonely unless I'm talking to another business owner. You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
think.
you think you're doing too much? You're like, am I in here too much? And then you see me in there all odd hours or.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
No,
doing
you're
too
not.
much. Like
No.
I
No.
want to have more, but then there's other parts of me that exist, like a husband. You know, I got a home to keep clean. I do have
But
to.
ain't nothing, you know.
I do have
Ain't
to
nothing
cook
going
my
on but the
meals.
rent.
Yeah, and I
You know.
love the other parts of me that I things that I love to do. You know,
That
I've-
scares me the most. You know what scares me
What?
more than anything in this world? Poverty. So
You know, that doesn't scare me at all. I'm not saying that I won't have hiccups. You know, there are outside factors that could be an influence in my pockets, right? I can't control that. I could prepare myself in case something happens as much as I can. But if the economy drops, we all affected. There's some businesses that might gain from it, but that's a whole different topic. But me, in terms of putting money in my pocket, if it's solely up to me, it would always happen.
But
That's
you
just
were
me.
expressing some type of dismay the time you're putting in, how is that affecting your social life with them?
It's not affecting it in terms that I'm upset or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
could work,
Every now and then, some negative implications.
there's always something that wants my time have to be split. And I do have other interests than what I do. I love what I do. I love sitting down in front of a spreadsheet and doing things. But I
Because
also
you
love
can't do what you want without money.
I also love to travel. I love to cook, and I love to
And
do
travel
things
without money.
like. The good thing is that I could travel and work at the same time.
Okay.
I could work out and travel and do work at the same time. I could combine those three. I also like doing this, like broadcasting. You know, I've spoken to you about some ideas I want to have.
Yeah.
I want a podcast. I want to get a group of friends together and just sit down and talk about meaningful things. Get a little, heated debate. Have a cocktail or two. Excuse me. These are things that I like to do, but my career and me starting my own business, I'm physically 2 years in 100% on my own, and I need to put in that time. And I don't always have that time to give, so that's always the biggest thing for me, as an entrepreneur. But I would not change it for anything in the world. The support around me is great. We are who we are. We make stuff work. So.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. I guess and that's it.
All right. Thanks. Thanks. So I don't know who's going to see this, but I hope you learned something from my experience. You need any insights, just hit me up. Jesse knows where to find me, and thank you.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jesse.
Thanks.